Hey everyone, thanks for learning to play games. My name is Lance, and in today's video, me and my friend are going to be playing through a brand new game coming to Kickstarter called Crimson Keep. This is a 1 to 2 player game that takes roughly 90 to 120 minutes to play, and is a competitive game where each player is going to be competing with the fellow player to build up that player's keep and try to do a number of different things to summon a dragon. Whichever player is able to accomplish first will trigger the second part of the game, where the player that has the dragon is going to try to eliminate his opponent's keep, and the other player that has the keep is going to try to defend it and eliminate the dragon. Whichever player is able to accomplish this first is going to be the winner of the game. So in this video, me and my friend are going to be playing through the first, middle, and end few turns of each of these parts to show you a better idea how this game plays. As always, if you find my videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we continue to grow, be able to produce this content. If you want to get notified anytime I drop new videos, as I'm constantly dropping all kinds of new videos, hit that notification bell and that'll let you know whenever I drop new stuff. Now, before heading to the table, I do want to point out that all the materials here are prototype materials and are subject to change, and will look a lot better than the final production copy of the game. So let's go ahead and head to the table, and we'll see how this one plays. All right, so before moving in, I just want to cover a couple things, and then we'll jump into the game itself. And joining me is my friend Zach. So we are going to go head to head and see who can summon the dragon and take down their opponent's keep. All right, so in this one, you have your 3 columns for your keep that each of us are going to be building up throughout the game. And we are going to, the objectives for the summon a dragon is to have the 3 summoning cards out in your keep and have them on their active side, so each card is double-sided. So as you get them out, you'll have to activate them. And then we have the 4 different columns that we have different accomplishments or achievements we're trying to unlock to get points to move up our track and get to one of the 3 dragons that we can summon. And there is the mighty dragon, the strong dragon, and the weak dragon. The higher up we go, the more powerful cards we get to try to take down our opponent's keep. All right, so from there, let's go ahead and determine the starting player. So we'll go and roll a d6 to see who is going to be the starting person. Well, it couldn't be any more.
Love you too, Lance.
All right. So each player at this point will start by taking 5 cards from their deck and choosing 3 of them to be their starting hand and discarding the other 2. So I will drop that one. Oh, that's a tough choice. And I'll drop that one. All right, my 3 are ready. Let me know when you're ready and we'll jump into this.
All right, Lance, I'm ready.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start by doing a place action. So to explain that, so during each player's turn, that player gets to perform up to 2 actions. And those actions, there's 7 different ones to choose from. At the beginning of each player's turn, if they have a combat card, such as this card here, if it was out on the battlefield, I could choose to move it 1 space. Otherwise, during my turn, the 2 actions I have, I can perform a place action, which allows me to place a card from my hand or from one of the summoning cards onto my keep, either at the bottom, or if there's a building out there ready, I can place it above that building, slowly building my keep up. I can do a replace action, which replaces a card that I previously placed in my keep or in the barracks or caverns. From there, I have a flip action, which allows me to flip a card from its inactive to its active side on the board, and some of the cards will have certain abilities that will be triggered at that point. A draw action allows me to discard all the cards in my hand, drawing back up to 5 cards, again choosing 2 of those to discard and keeping the other 3. A special ability allows me to trigger a special ability on a card that is in my keep, in the caverns. And the final action is a battle. So if you have a combat card out and it is adjacent to your opponent's either combat card or keep, you can choose to do a battle and try to take down your opponent's card or keep building. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start by doing a place action. So I'm going to move my marker up 1 space and place out a building. Now, if I take the same action again, I will not move that gem up 1 more space on that column. I have to choose another action if I want to move up another one of my markers. And then I'll do a flip action. So I'll flip over this building here. All right, and right now this is an alignment, a runic alignment. So in order to trigger this, I have to have another building that is adjacent to it that has the same symbol. So right now it doesn't, so it will not I will not be able to trigger its ability. that is my turn, so it'll pass over to Zach to take his turn.
All right, Lance, I'm going to follow somewhat within the same order. I'm going to place a card as well. Obsidian Stair, my first level.
Okay.
And I believe I am going to go ahead and place a second building as well. Now again, because I did already one place, I can't do it twice, just once per turn per card. Those are going to be my 2 actions.
Correct. All right, so back over to me. I am going to, again, do another placement with the Crimson Arch. I'll go ahead and place it up there. And I'm going to activate it as well, and it just so happens to be the same symbol, which is one of my runic alignments. So I get to place that token. That is going to get me 1 point on my track. So I'm going to move my track up 1 space. And I also remove this token, which again, these are all prototypes. So this will all be worked out for the final cut of the game. And now one of the other conditions is I have to have 3 of the 4 columns with a rune in it to be able to summon the dragon, as well as the other criteria. All right, so I got 1 point for that, and now these have an runic alignment. So with this, it says that I get to place either 1 point of attack or 1 point of defense battle tokens on this card when orthogonally adjacent, and the runes are matching. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1 of each on those, and these will be used in combat for attacking and defense. And that was my second action, so my turn is done. Back over to Zach.
All right. Once again, I'm going to place another card, move my token up. That's going to go in the caverns here. For my second action, I'm going to go ahead and activate my obsidian layer. So I'm going to flip.
Okay.
Coming up 1, activating the obsidian layer. And I don't know if Lance covered, at the end of your turn, if you're out of cards in hand, you could then get a free action of draw from your hand, but it will not affect your track.
Correct. Thank you. All right. While he's doing that, I'll go ahead and take my turn. So I'm going to go ahead and start by doing the cavern. I'm going to place that one as well, and I will also flip that card to its active side. And then that is my turn. So again, I get to do the same thing. So I'll draw 5 and choose 3. And my turn is done. And I have all monsters. Wow. All right, so I'll drop those 2, and that'll be my 3.
Okay. I am going to place a card, the Great Hall in my second tier there.
Nice.
And we are going to activate, had a mess up there. We're going to go ahead and activate this one of the Crimson Arch.
Okay.
And we'll do that. So flip, and that is my turn.
All right. So back to me. I'm going to go ahead and place monster in my barracks, and I will use a special ability, my Krogers, and they are Masters of Stone. I get to place an active building card in your keep. So what that means is that I get to take a card from my hand and place it in my keep on the active side. So I'm going to go ahead and place the Black Gate. This is, I get to place a combat card from the barracks active on the battlefield next to your keep. Use 2 dice for defense.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, Lance, but also the Black Gate is one of the few cards that has to go in the first level.
Correct. All right, that was my second action, which I flipped that back over, and that is my turn. So it's back over to you.
Okay. We'll go ahead and place my Obsidian Stair above my Crimson Arch, moving for place, and then I'm going to go ahead and activate my Obsidian Star, or flip it. That will create the runic alignment. I'm going to make the move here. So again, just like Lance had before with his alignments of Obsidian Star and Crimson Arch, I'm going to choose my attack and defense tokens. I like to play defensively, so I'm going to put down 2 defense shields here on my cards. And those are my turns.
All right. So moving back into my turn, I am going to go ahead and trigger my Black Gate special ability, which lets me place a combat card from my barracks active on the battlefields. So I got my Morgoth Troll coming out. He's got some nasty stuff going on there. And then I am going to go ahead and place that in there as well. So that is a place action. So now that I've filled up one of my bars, I can either choose to hold on to that for a later turn, or I can trigger the ability on there, which every one of these has two options. So this one lets me place a building card, or I can move the Mighty Dragon one space closer to my beat over there, trying to hopefully get to him. I am going to hold on to that for the moment, and that is going to end my turn, and I am out of cards again, so I get to do a free draw as usual. Back to you.
Okay, I am going to go ahead and place a card. Bring me the final tier of my place or replace. I'm going to put the Fire Lancers down here in my first column. And for a second action, I'm going to flip my Great Hall that is here, which is now War Council. Later in another round, I can activate this card by flipping it to its inactive side, and I'll get 2 additional actions, but I've spent both my actions of place and flip. That'll be the end of my turn. I am going to go ahead and use my final tier here, moving it back down to the bottom, and I don't have any cards in hand, so I'm going to move my Mighty down by 1 space, which will be the furthest dragon on the track, moving from 21 to 20.
Okay.
And no cards, so I'll draw back up.
All right, so then it's back to my turn. I am going to move as a free action at the beginning of my turn. And then I'm going to spend this to place a building card. So I'm going to go ahead and place my Great Hall in there. And I do not get to place this up because that was not an action. And then I will do... My first action will be a placement of a battle card in my barracks. And my second action is going to be, what do I want to do here? I will flip the War Council over, which is this one here. All right, that is my turn.
Okay, for my first action, I'm going to flip the Fire Lancer over the final track. We're going to turn the Fire Lancer over, which is now on his active side, so I can use his special ability if I choose so. Scorch says, flip any enemy building card that is in range to its inactive side. Range, first card in a horizontal line from the Fire Lancer. So I'm going to go ahead and use that special ability right there, and I'm going to deactivate his Great Hall.
Okay.
So that again also turns my Fire Lancer face down as well. And I have my flip draw tier filled. I'm going to move that down to the back. Now I have the option of placing a combat card or moving this strong. I don't currently have any combat cards in hand, so I'm going to go ahead and move my strong, which is the second dragon, down to spot 14.
Okay. All right, so back to my turn. I get my free move. Slowly moving my troll. And then I will do a placement action, which will fill up my barracks, which completes my clan ruins. So that says have 3 combat cards in your barracks, which I have been able to accomplish. So that'll take that off, and I get 2 points for that, so I'm at 3. All right, that was my first action. Second action, also to point out real quick, you can only have 1 combat card out at a time. So even though my barracks is full, I cannot choose to place another combat card out. Now I could replace a combat card, so I could replace the troll, but I can only ever have 1 combat card out at any time. All right, so then from there, I will do a flip action to flip the Great Hall back over. And then I can trigger that if I want to. Sure, why not? So that'll move him down, and then that's the end of my turn. So again, I'm out of cards, so I'll get to draw back up.
So I'm going to go ahead and play my crackers here. One's for placement, putting them in the caverns there. And I believe I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my special ability using my War Council to give me 2 additional turns. We'll turn him down, so I get 2 more actions from here.
Okay.
I'm going to use one of my bonus actions of Craggers to put them face up to active, which that is my first flip of the round, so I get to move that. And then I'm going to go ahead and use its special ability, which I've already done here, so I will not get an extra one. But I'm going to place 1 active building card from inside my keep out. So Crimson Arch will come out, and I will put it here. Because this is a place of a specialty from a card, I will not get the place movement here in my row.
Okay.
Those are my 2 extra bonus actions. I'm done.
All right, so you do have 6 buildings out now, so you are going to complete the first thing in your building ruins.
Okay, so that's going to be
6 cards on your levels 1 and 2.
All right, so that's going to be here. And we're going to find that symbol real quick. All right, and because I've done this, this now comes off, and I'll move my red marker up 2 spaces.
Correct. All right, so that is the end of your turn, so that'll move back into my turn. And I think at this point, this is a good spot where I'm going to take a few turns off camera, and we'll be back a little bit later to see how things are going. All right, so after a little while, we're jumping back into things. We've been able to build up our fortress, our keeps a little bit more, and we're ready to move back in. So it is my turn to go. So I'm going to go ahead and trigger a special ability. So on my guy, my troll here, he has Club Crush, and this one lets me remove an enemy combat card that is adjacent to this card. So your Minox is gone, and then I get to get this one here, which is to remove an enemy combat card using a special ability, which I was able to accomplish. So that will do that. I get 1 point there. That was my first action. My second action, I'm going to do a, oh, yeah, and this flips inactive. So I think I will flip him back active, just to have him ready to go if I need him. All right, that is my turn. Back to you.
All right, Lance, since you took away my creature, I might as well bring another one out. So we're going to do a place. We're going to bring the Dragusa out.
Okay.
So there's my place and my movement. And I'm going to go ahead and flip her and make her active because I don't like you very much.
That sounds good.
And there's my flip. And then I have either I can place a building card or move the Mighty. I only have 1 card in hand, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this back down the bottom of the track, and I'll move my Mighty down in hopes that maybe I'll get that one.
All right. All right, back to me. I am going to, I can't move because you're blocking my path. I am going to do I'll do a flip action. And go ahead and flip this one. And then I think I will do a battle action. So I'm going to go ahead and battle your creature there. So with a battle, there's a number of steps that are going to happen. First off, each one of us is going to secretly choose a battle tactics card, and these give us all kinds of different benefits. So we'll place that face down, and we'll reveal those at a later point. All right. From there, the second step is that the defender is going to start off by choosing if the defender wants to add any defensive tokens to the battle, as the creature here can use both defense and offense, but since she's on defense, she can only use defense for this.
Well, as I know how good my dice rolls are, I'm going to need all the help I can get.
All right. And I will follow suit, adding my 1 offensive token there. All right, so after that, then each one of us is going to roll a single d6. All right, and then we reveal our battle tactics cards. So I chose Reserve Troops. For every card placed in your barracks and caverns, add +1 to your total. So I have a total of 5 to that, so I am at 11, 12 right now. And what do you got?
All right, so we're starting with the 4 here, and I get for each active Fire Lancer in your keep, add an additional 2. I only have 1, the other one is deactivated, so I'm going to add a +2 to that, bringing it to 6 with my additional 2 down here, bringing it to 8. So I think Lance is victorious here.
All right, so once we've determined the victor, the enemy that is, or the person that has been defeated, the card is going to be removed from the game completely. And then the victorious card is going to be removed and added to my discard pile. And then the other cards, all this stuff will be placed off to the side, so we won't get these Battle Tactics cards back until we have gone through the rest of our Battle Tactics cards. And in that way, then you can kind of start predicting what your opponent is going to potentially be able to throw down. All right, that was my second action. That is the end of my turn. So back over to you.
All right. We are going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and draw. My caverns are full, so I don't really want this one. So I, again, will go ahead and draw 5 cards, selecting 3. And just to speed up here a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and activate my Great Hall. So we have our draw here, which moves me up there. And I can flip my Great Hall, but I will not move again as I've already flipped once. All right, go ahead, Lance. I'll select my cards.
Okay. All right, so back to me. So I am going to go ahead and do a place action. I will place that card there, and that fills up my track. So with this, when your track is full, you also have one additional option. You can spend all 4 tracks to move any dragon head 2 spaces. So I am going to go ahead and do that and move my strong dragon head 2 spaces down, making it a little easier to get there. Oh, and I also did that combat where I destroyed the enemy, so I will get that as well. So that's going to give me another point on there for that one. And then my second action, I will... What do I want to do? I will go ahead and do a place action. Oh wait, I think I did the place action already. So this one will go here, and I won't be able to move that up, and that is my turn.
Okay. Lance, I got a quick retcon here. I failed to move my token back, so I'm going to go and do that if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
All right, back to the front of the track. So I wouldn't have had cards in hand, so I'm just going to move my 1 strong down, 1 down to 13.
Sounds good.
Okay. So that fixes that. For my 2 actions, I'm going to go ahead and place my Fire Wraith in the barracks. And I think I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and flip a card. I am going to flip my Kraggers face up. When I use it later, I can place an active ability card from my hand directly out. And those are my 2 actions. Go ahead, Lance.
All right. So I get to do a free move action, and then I am going to place this one there, and I will do a place as well. I'm going to go ahead and place the sorceress. Place her there. All right, that is my turn. Back to you.
All right. I believe I am going to place another card. I'll go ahead and put my Dragon Ram in the barracks. And then I'm going to activate my special ability for the Great Hall for the War Council. After flipping this card active, you can perform 2 actions. All right, so cancel that. I get 2 more actions. I am going to go ahead and activate my... I'm going to go ahead and flip my Fire Lancer. I have not flipped any cards yet this round, so we'll move that up. And then for my final action, because it worked so well last time, I'm going to activate my Fire Lancer and shut down Lance's Great Hall one more time.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, that was a special ability. I'd already moved once for a special ability, so I can't do it again. And I did make it the end of my track for special ability, so I'm going to move it back so I can either place a summoning card active, or I can move my weak one space. Really don't like the weak dragon, so I'm going to take a summon card and make it active. Oh, yep, summon card. So we're going to take one of these, put it directly out. We're going to start with a dragon crystal here.
Nice.
And this is a great one because when it goes active, which it's doing now, immediately it'll come out. And I'm going to get a defense token for its current level of the keep itself. So we're right at 4, so it's going to get a 4 marker on it immediately.
Whew. Lots of defense.
All right, that is my turn, Lance.
All right. So I will get to move my guy for free. And then I should probably flip him over. And then let's see what else I want to do. I am going to also flip the sorceress, which when I flip her, I get to flip a number of building cards active to your keep equal to the level of this card. So she gets to flip 4. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is my turn. Back to you.
Now, Lance, on your turn, with your runes that you flipped, even though it was an ability card, if you flip 2 matching runes, would you still get that?
So these two are, I mean, which ones are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying if these two had matched.
Yes, then I would have been able to add the tokens.
Okay. That's in your turn, Lance?
Yes.
Okay. You are getting entirely too close to my keep, and I don't like it. So we're going to activate a special ability here. And we're going to use our Fire Lancer of Singe. And it says, flip an active enemy combat card that is in range for its inactive. Range any card in a diagonal line from the Fire Lancer. So I'm going to go ahead and flip his Minox back to its inactive side.
All right, sounds good.
That was one action. And second action, I believe I am going to go ahead and place a card because I need to get something out there for defense. And we're going to put the Dragon Ram down here in the bottom row.
All right.
All right, those are my 2 actions.
Okay, so back to me. I am going to... I will place that one there. Gets me to move this up, and I am going to flip this over. So I'll take care of that. And I'm out of cards as my turn, so I'll get to draw back up.
Okay. I will go ahead and place out my Crimson Arch here. There's a placement. And I think I'm going to go ahead and flip another card. I'm going to go ahead and flip my Fire Lancer down here since Lance really doesn't like that card, so I'll have him active and ready. Again, I'm out of cards, so I'm going to draw a fresh 5, draw 3. Lance, this will be the end of my turn.
All right. So to start my turn, I am going to go ahead and place the blacksmith, so that will complete having... oh, no, I have to have him active, so I can't do that just yet. So that was a placement, and I might as well trigger a special ability to do the Great Hall to give me 2 more actions, which I will use to flip over both of these. So now I complete that. So I have 3 active cavern cards in your cavern. So that will complete this one and move me up 2 spaces. So I'm on my first dragon, but I do not have my summoning cards out, and all 3 of them are not active at this point either. So I cannot summon that dragon at this point. So that is my turn. Back over to you.
Okay. Well, that makes me pay attention, Lance. I missed that. I've got 3 active in my caverns as well, so it's okay to wreck on that.
Oh, did you have, at one point, did you have all 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so
that's fine.
Go ahead and put that one in.
That was one of the brown ones.
Ah.
This
Yep, you're right. Now, when you're right, you're right. All right, so we're going to move up 1 on the red space here. So that's just to retcon that. And we're going to go ahead and place a card. We'll do the Winged Tyvern. So that's a place. Bring me up there. And because I want to be as cool as Lance, I'm going to go ahead and place another active card out there. So I have all 3 in my combat area, which will have 3 cards. Have 3 cards in your barracks. So I'll go ahead and get that too. And that one there. So once again, I have to move up 1 space. And I believe those are both of my actions.
All right. So back to me. I am going to... Well, honestly, I think this is a great spot to take a few turns off camera, and we'll be back in a little bit to see how things potentially wrap up with a dragon. All right, so moving back in, things are building up. My keep is getting big. My opponent has a dragon cannon out, which I really need to handle here, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to do my free move first to get my fire falcon up. And I am getting really close. I really like to get my dragon out. So I'm going to go ahead and do summon the clan leader as a place action. And then I'm going to do a flip action to flip him over, which with him up there, he gets to place a attack token on there based on the level that he is. So right now he's level 5. So that'll take care of that. And I think that's everything I can do during my turn. So...
Don't forget your tier there, Lance, for the place.
Ah, yes. Well, that was already at the max. Oh, and a flip, yes. All right, and I will go ahead and trigger this to place that out. That will get that, and I just need to activate those to get that bonus. And I think that's everything I can do right now. So that is my turn. Back over to you.
Okay. Can't help myself, Lance. I gotta do it. I know how much you love that Fire Lancer. So we're gonna activate his special ability. We're gonna Scorch horizontal line. We're gonna hit your black gate because I don't like that.
Oh no.
So that'll deactivate that card. I have an action left, but I do have my Great Hall, so I'm gonna activate that.
Oh no,
I'm gonna use that
not
for
the Great
special.
Hall.
Yep, you forgot about it, Lance. All right, so we're gonna do that. I already did my special ability, my Fire Lancer, so that will not move, but I'm going to go ahead and flip that down to give me another 2 actions.
Okay.
So action 1, we're going to flip this card, which is my Dragon Cannon.
Oh, no.
And I believe I have not flipped yet, so we're going to move up 1 on flip. And we're going to go ahead and activate the Dragon Cannon for the special ability, and it says Blitz. Attack nearest building card with 2 dice. Victory also flips the card behind inactive. If the second card was inactive, it is removed.
Oh, God. Oh, this is going to be bad. I got to win this battle. All right, so initially the first step is to choose our battle tactics cards. So, oh boy. I'm going to go with this one, hopefully. All right, and then we place tokens out. So my black gate does have defense, or does allow me to place defense, so I'm going to throw everything I got at it.
As am I, Lance. It's going down, buddy.
Oh, boy. All right, so from there, then I get 1 die, unfortunately, because my black gate is flipped, and you get 2 attack dice for yours. So we'll go ahead and give these a roll. All right, it's looking good. All right, so from there, then we'll flip our cards. I have a roll an additional die, and so do you.
Oh, looks like we have the same idea, Lance.
All right, so we'll move these over. And 1 more die. Where does that put us? We're tied there.
Right.
You've got 1 up on me. So it's 13 to 11, 13. So it's tie. All right. So we're tied right now, so we'll go ahead and move those down. We'll roll another die.
Ooh, so climactic.
All the dice, yes. What an epic thing. Oh, no.
Oh, there we go.
You broke the tie. Okay, so with this, what happens now is that the black gate gets destroyed. Now, unfortunately, when a card gets destroyed, all the cards above it go down. And because my Great Hall is inactive, you also remove that, which means that both of my columns are destroyed, and all of those cards are removed to my discard pile, and I lose that token as well.
Lance, I would say I'm sorry, but that was great.
That was epic. I was so close too. I almost had it. Could not pull it off. All right, so then that's discarded, and that's rough. All right, and then your dragon cannon is simply just removed to its discard. So that was it did its job for sure. All right, so that is your turn. So that will file it back into my turn here. Oh, so yeah, that's really bad. My keep is down.
Oh, Lance, one quick thing right there in combat runes. I did collapse one of your keeps, so I should get a marker on that.
Absolutely, yes. So you will get that.
Okay. And this is going to be a 1 move of the red token.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Go, Lance.
All right, so from there, well, with my keep being down, I am definitely not going to hold up defensively. I need to get my dragon out. So I'm going to go ahead and place the dragon crystal on my first spot here as my first action for a place. And then I'm going to flip it as that to do that. So then I get a defensive token on there, which doesn't really matter. But that is my third summons card. And they're all active, so that is going to place that token there. That is going to move my marker up 2 onto my strong dragon, which at this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and summon that dragon. All right, so at this point, now that I have initiated the dragon, my opponent gets to do one final turn of 2 actions. So I'll let you go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull out my dragon card.
All right, I think for our turn, we're going to go ahead and place our Fire Wraith out. So I really like that card. So there's my place, and I'm going to go ahead and flip him because I know I'm going to need him.
All right.
So turn that face up for the flip, which will bring me in the final column over here. I know that Lance is going to get his dragon out, so there's no point in me moving my dragons. I can place a combat card. So, actually...
Well, you did that for the Wraith,
yeah,
so we'll say that you spent it for that, so then you'll have 1 action left still.
Okay, so for 1 action left, we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and activate our Great Hall. I think that's probably the right... Or we could... No, we're going to activate our crystal.
Actually, it might be good to get one of your other cards, summon cards out, because you get those bonus points for those.
You're right. We're going to go ahead and do that. So, I'll go ahead and put that up here on the final space. And it says... It just comes out, right?
Actually, you could do your Kroger's, right? And then do it that way, and that way then it comes out active. Because well, technically it's a summoning card, so I guess maybe not. Okay, yeah.
So we'll just leave it at that.
All right, so with my dragon being out, he has his 4 cards out, and because he's a strong dragon, I get to take one of my Obliterate cards. So those are powerful cards that will hopefully come in handy here. And since my opponent is done now he is going to get he's going to determine his defense with his keep, which based on the points here, so you have no tokens right now, unfortunately.
Used all those up.
Yep. So you are not going to have any defensive cards. So that is that. So then it moves into... So this is the second part of the game now. So at this point, we cut down to 1 action apiece, and with me having a dragon, my keep is invincible, so it cannot be destroyed, and I'll lose all of my tokens on there because they won't do any good for me. And during my turn, all I'm going to do is to attack my opponent's keep to try to bring it down. I have 2 different options. I can play an Obliterate card and carry out the actions of that card, or I can simply do a fire attack where I'm going to be rolling 4 dice, and my opponent can choose to use a defense card if he had any, but he doesn't. and then he's going to total up, based on the cards that he has in his keep, the keep's defensive value for that column. So your front column is actually your strongest column here. So I think I'm going to do the obliterate card for that one. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that down. So with this, it's going to have me rolling 4 dice, and based on the value that I get will determine what I can do with this. So let's see where the dice fall. All right, so I've got 11, 12, 15. So I just got enough to be able to destroy column B or C. So obviously I'm destroying column C. But before I do, let's go over how to calculate your tower's defense. So for defense for a column, you're going to get 0 points for a non-active card. You'll get 2 points for an active card. You're going to get 3 points for a non-active summoning card, and 4 points for an active summoning card. So right now you would have 3, 6, and 2 more for 8. So you would have had 8 defense on that column. But I did destroy it, so you're simply going to remove all of those cards from that column, and then this is going to replace that column. So at this point, when it goes to his turn, he is going to get to perform 1 action, but he cannot build in that column anymore, so you can't keep replenishing your keep in a way.
Lance, I think you're just mad about the dragon cannon.
That was pretty nasty.
All right, so I only get 1 action. Cannot build in this column. The only thing that's really going to make sense from here is I'm going to use my special ability of my Fire Wraith.
Okay.
It's still going to move the token up. Doesn't make a whole bunch of sense. Doesn't make a big difference. But here it says sacrifice during the final step. During the final battle, flip 1 dragon card to its injured side. You must then destroy your Fire Wraith. So I'm going to go ahead and do just that, and that is my 1 action.
Okay. All right, so from there, then it goes back to my turn. So at this point, I'm out of obliterate cards, so all I can do is dice rolls. So I'm going to do a fire attack. And unfortunately, you don't have any defense cards, so it's just on your keep. And right now you have 3 buildings in your keep that are all active, so you have a total of 6 defense. So let's see what the dice have to say. All right, so I got more than I needed for your thing, so your second column is going to go down now.
Thanks, Lance.
Yep. And then it goes to your third column. So you have 1 action to do something with.
Oh, I don't know. There's much here I can do, Lance.
You could drop one of your summoning cards. That'd get you 3 more points on there at least.
Yep, I think that's going to be the best call there. So the sorcerer's the last one available because these 2 were destroyed in early rounds, so I can't get them back out.
Well, they're just removed with that. Your summoning cards are never destroyed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was incorrect on that. Okay, so back to the top of the tower there. And that is my 1 action.
All right, so now for my going back in, I have to do another fire attack, and your defense right now is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So as long as I can get 7 or better on the dice, the game is mine. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9. So just enough to take down your last column. And that's it right there.
All because of that 1 ram. See how it is, Lance.
I called out my dragon. I'm like, tired of this. Well, that went pretty well overall for my side of things. That dragon's devastating.
Yeah, I had a great time losing to you, Lance. Appreciate it, buddy.
Always happy to help. So I hope this gave you a better idea how this game plays and whether or not this is one you want to back on Kickstarter. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please post those in the comments section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Or swing by the Kickstarter page and drop any questions you have there as well. I'm sure the creator would love to hear from you and is more than happy to answer any questions you have. Until next time, I'll see you later.